Hi peeps, it's been a couple of months. I have not done a YouTube video, I think since May, Mother's Day. May is a challenging month for me because um, it's my birthday, and then also it's the month that my mom went home to be with Jesus. And so this year, my birthday actually fell on Mother's Day. Some years it doesn't, it just depends. So, but I actually had a great quarantine birthday. I had two friends come over to bless me, and I had deliveries all day long. So it was actually a great day. But then, all I can say is until you've lost a parent, you just don't really have a clue what I'm talking about. So, um, it was 2 years at the end of May for me. So, it does get better with time, but I don't know, it just kind of, it affects you even though you think you're okay, but it's still kind of affecting you. And I think it affected me. And then when all the stuff started with George Floyd, and then, what black people have been dealing with for a long time, or minorities as well. Um, just the systemic racism that's going on in our country. And that took a toll on me. I just stayed on social media too much, reading all the comments. And I'm not really one to voice my thoughts and my opinions on Facebook all day long, because to me it's like nobody, like who, sometimes nobody really cares what you think. Let's just be honest. And I don't want to really waste my time just putting my random thoughts on Facebook. I'm more of an action person. So I did give to George Floyd. I made phone calls, um, did things that I could do tangibly to help the cause. But there's still so much work to be done. And I would just say for my white Caucasian counterparts, black people are not saying that everyone else's life doesn't matter. That's never been what our goal it is. I mean, if you know any of us, you should already know that about that. Know that about us. We're not really revenge-seeking people. If we were, this country would be in trouble. We're more about let's acknowledge and accept that this has been happening to us, and let's move on. Let's figure out solutions. We just want a normal, equal life like everybody else. We're not asking for handouts. We just want to be treated equally, one nation, under God, right? That's what is our part of our Pledge of Allegiance, that we're one, not black, white, Asian. We're one under God. And the big thing, and we're the only country that really makes such a huge difference on the color. When you go to Ecuador, you're Ecuadorian. They don't focus on whether your skin color. You're from that country. So really, to me, all these categories, black, white, Asian, they need to be abolished. And you're either American or you're not. So, that's just been really hard watching all of people's comments and just how much hate people have in them, when the only reason why people don't like me is because the melanin in my skin produces more. I mean, that's it. Because at the end of the day, if you were to cut me open, and one of the white people or Caucasian people that hate black people needed my blood, and I'm an O positive, so I can give to everybody, you would have to take it. So there's really no difference between us. Anyway, sorry, I just wanted to go off on my little spill. So I've been off because of just mentally all of the stuff going on in the world. Just needed to step back and take a break, and been working on house projects, which I'm very excited. Things that have been put off for 20 years have finally gotten done because of COVID. So, um, I think God knew I won't say unfortunately, but if you're a Christian and you're a believer, and if you've ever read the Bible, you know there's nothing new under the sun. So everything that we're going through has happened on the earth many times before. So we will get through it. But today's video, I just decided to do an impromptu video because I needed to get back in there. And you can see I have no makeup on. This is my natural look, my natural hair, which you guys probably won't see much of because it's just maintaining hair for African American women, and anybody else can correct me if I'm wrong. It's a lot. Maintaining the curls in my hair and trying to keep it moisturized. It's just a long process, and I have never liked to do my hair, so it's not. I like that my hair is very healthy, natural, but it's a lot of work, and I haven't liked to do my hair since I was 2. Yeah, 2. My mom said I came to her with brush my hair at 2, and I'm the same person today. If it requires a lot of work from me, it's not a good thing. So I've been going to the hairdresser since I got a job, because I don't do hair or eyebrows or anything else or nails. I go to people who have a passion to do them and who can not make me look pretty, because I think I'm already pretty, but just enhancing the beauty that God gave me. Anyway, today's video is about eBay. So I would say last year, and again, if you know my videos, I'm going to talk about Jesus, about God, because that's just who I am. I felt led by God to put all my stuff, my Barbie dolls, not let's say stuff, Barbie dolls on eBay. So I loved Barbie dolls growing up. My mom spoiled me. My friends used to tell me how much stuff I had, and I guess I was in denial. But when I moved into the new house, the second house, I have so much more space, so I finally was an adult and went and got all my stuff out of my grandfather and my parents' house, because I was like, I have a house now, I can take all my stuff and bring it here. So I had about 8, and we're talking, some of them are very light, more than half of them were the large, huge bins of Barbie doll stuff. And I would say, like, during the winter, at the end of last year, I felt God was like, you need to put your Barbie dolls on eBay. And I was like, I was not wanting to do it because I had always planned that I would keep my Barbie dolls for when I had a little girl. Hasn't happened yet, and I just felt from what God told me that your kids are not going to like Barbie dolls the way you did. So use this opportunity to get yourself out of debt, or to help accelerate that. And I put it off because when it comes to doing new things for me, I'm just like, I don't know, maybe I make it too overwhelming. But finally I started researching, and I had no idea about anything about eBay except for making purchases. So I started following some people on YouTube, and most of the people that I have followed on YouTube regarding Barbie dolls and how to sell them and how to take care of them to sell are men. It is very surprising how men know more about dolls than women. I mean, every last one of them has been a man, and they have rooms full of Barbie dolls behind them in their videos. So it's very interesting to me. And I always knew, like, unless I had a separate, like, outhouse, not an outhouse, wrong choice of word, like a storage shed that Barbie dolls would just be lined up in and stayed in, or if I had an extra building to make a museum, there's no way I'm gonna have a room full of Barbie dolls in my house. That's just not me. I don't want Barbie dolls as decor. So some people do, I don't. So that was another reason that convinced me that, yeah, I need to sell them, because I'd rather for them to go to people who actually, not that I didn't enjoy mine, because I did. I love playing with them. But they were just sitting in bins. So it's like, why keep them when there are people out there who want them, and then I can use them to accelerate my debt cancellation. So I started researching all my dolls. Oh my God, it took me like 3 days, a whole weekend and another day, to go through all of my stuff, clean it because some of it was molded from being in containers and being in the basement. And oh my gosh. And once I start doing something, I don't know how to stop. So I basically exhaust myself trying to get it done, but it gets done because I just like, I won't quit until it gets done. That's how I get about some things. But I went through all of my stuff and I had like over 100 dolls, and then I had like every accessory, clothing, shoes, McDonald's ice cream parlor. I mean, everything that you could think of to go with it, I have it. And it's amazing how my memory can recall the names of all these dolls from when I was 10, 11, 12 years old. And if I had have been even more patient and just went through all my bins, it's so funny how God creates you to be the same person that you are today when you're little. So I would tell people that have children that start watching your children when they're little because their gifts are there. Like, I was so organized even at 10 or 11, 12. I had the Barbie paperwork. I had saved all of it, almost all of it. It was at the bottom of one of the bins. And I had neatly stapled everything together and checked off stuff that was there. I had kept most of the instruction books. So I had spent a lot of time unnecessarily researching dolls when all of the names were already stacked at the bottom of the bin that I had saved. I mean, I had stapled paperwork together like I was running a business, and I just laughed at myself because that's how I am now. So it's amazing. If you have kids, just pay attention to those things that might even get on your nerves that they're doing, because that's a part of who they are. That's their gifts, and you can just hone in on those gifts now so that when they're 40 like me, you know, you have already built them up so much that they already know who they are when they're when they're a teenager, and they can start living on purpose and living their passion instead of just going through life trying to figure out stuff. And then when you get older, not that I'm old because I'm not old at all, because I plan to be 120s because that's the minimum that God said. So I'm not even halfway there yet. But it's just amazing. Just pay attention to your kids' gifts now because that's going to be who they are when they get older. So anyway, I researched all my dolls, figured out their names, and then I got the courage to put things on eBay. I already had an eBay login, so you just start selling things. And this video is about eBay tips, because people that buy stuff on eBay, some of them are scammers and some of them are just, I don't want to say crazy, but eccentric maybe. So just some tips that I've learned. So I learned from YouTube that I should wash and clean my Barbie dolls. And people were like, wash their clothes individually. I was like, I don't got that kind of time. So what I did with the clothes was I put all their clothes in a mesh bag. Like if you have an undergarment bag you can put in the laundry, you can put it in there. And then that way they don't get lost in the washing machine. And that was like a lifesaver, a godsend, because there was no way Kamisha was going to sit and wash each individual little piece of Barbie doll clothing. I wasn't going to do it. So I did that, and then I did wash them. I haven't made it through all my Barbie dolls yet, but I've washed the ones that I've sold, brushed their hair, because for some reason I like to rubber band all of their hair, and the rubber bands get old and cracked and they got stuck in some of their hair, so I had to wash it out. Just made them presentable. Like that was it. I'm not gonna try to fix them, glue them back together, because I didn't know, but broken Barbie dolls sell too. Like that's how much people want these things. So the first Barbie doll that I sold on eBay was the Workout. She was like from 1983. And a big learning lesson. So I was so proud of myself. I had put my first Barbie doll on eBay. She sold. It was like her in the gym center. I did it for like $20. And in the beginning, I was paying for shipping because I was just trying to attract people. But after that, I realized that my stuff was good and people were going to pay for the shipping. So I don't pay for shipping anymore because it's an unnecessary cost to me. If you have a really good product that your buyer is going to pay for the shipping if they really want it. Now, if you want to be nice and do like a free shipment every now and then, or you have a different type of product, that might be for you. But I found out that it wasn't necessary for me to do that. So no, that's one lesson that I learned. You don't have to do free shipping because if your product is good enough, the buyer is going to pay for the shipping, unless you can, you work it into your budget where you can give away free shipping. But I just learned that that wasn't necessary for me to do. So first, that was number one. You need to make a decision about what you're going to do about your shipping, whether you're going to do free shipping or if you're not gonna, or if you're gonna make the buyer pay, or you can even like give them a percentage they have to pay. You have like several different options with that. So shipping is number one, one lesson that I learned. Oh, and also another thing with shipping. So I live near the smaller post office, which is, although it's like literally less than a minute from me, it's in a different zip code. So after they saw me bringing a lot of stuff, they asked me to change the zip code to their address instead of mine so that they would get credit for it. I did a whole bunch of research on eBay. I called eBay and they said the only way that I can do that is if I put the shipping address as their address, and they don't want me to do that. So just another FYI, it's more of an inconvenience for the post office, but you wanna, if you can, if it's convenient for you, take it to the post office with your same zip code so that they get credit for your shipping. And the one that has my zip code is not convenient for me, so I don't go there. So another lesson I learned with eBay sales. Packaging. Man, these people don't play. So I was so proud of myself. I had used bubble wrap. I thought I did a fantastic job of bubble wrapping the doll in the workout center. And eBay tells you that you want to solicit good feedback from the people that bought from you. You give them good feedback for being a buyer, and they should give you good feedback for your sales. The first lady that I sold my first purchase to, she was very, I'm just going to say nasty. She told me that my shipping was horrific. And I'm just going to be honest, it hurt my feelings so, so, so bad. Because that's not how I operate. I strive to operate in excellence. Like, I have bubble wrapped everything. And it just hurt my feelings so bad because she was like, I'm going to do you a favor and not post. It was horrific. The doll's head came off during shipping, and you guys don't care. I mean, I guess she had a bad experience from before, but man, I mean, I cried. That's how bad I let it hurt my feelings because I was just so proud of myself, and then you have somebody just destroy you via email, and I was an adult about it, and because that was my first shipment for eBay when I was selling, so I just apologized, and I told her thank you for the feedback. I'll work on this for the future. And I even, because I felt so bad and I'm about excellence, I even sent her, like, because you still have their address after, you can still find it on the shipping label. I sent her like a $20 gift card because I felt so bad about what she said she got in the mail. But I took that as a learning lesson. From that point on, I took pictures of how I wrapped things because I learned from another sale that people scam you on the shipping. Like, if they know you're an inexperienced eBay seller, they will try to scam you. So I sold some My Little Pony dolls from Japan, and I made a very nice penny on them. So because I did, I paid more for the shipping than what the buyer paid for because I wanted to make sure these things have to get there safely. So I think I picked an envelope instead of a box. So when the person got the package, they were just like, they had circled where I had picked the wrong envelope, and said that, oh, the post office said that I owe postage. Now, first of all, if if I had owed postage on it, they would have never sent it off because they check all that before you even send it off. So I already knew, like in my spirit, that something wasn't right because they're not even gonna let me. They would have never made it to that person if there would have been a lacking postage. So I was like, I did a screenshot because hey, business is business. I have been in corporate America for a long time, and you know how people operate or how they can't operate. So I went back to my shipping label. I took a screenshot of what I paid for the shipping and sent it to the person and said, well, I overpaid. I paid extra for the shipping, so I don't know how you would owe postage. And they were just like, oh, like, okay. And I said, I'm checking with eBay to see if I underpaid, shipping on your package, and I'll get back to you. And they were just like, well, I'm not happy with the way the ponies arrived. They were disheveled. But I had learned from my first episode with the other lady that no, I know these weren't disheveled because I still have the pictures. And I had the pictures and I said, this is how the things were packaged. So there's no way they could have been disheveled. Um, Basically, they were trying to scam me on the postage and get some of their money back. And I was like, no, I don't owe you any money. And I had the confirmation from eBay that I did not owe anything else on that package. So you just have to be very careful because people will try to scam you if you're a newer eBay seller. It's just ridiculous. During the pandemic, people are doing stuff like that. So lessons learned about packing, take pictures of how you're packing your stuff, keep all of that. And another touch that I added was I started sending thank you cards with all of my eBay shipments, and I have not had any negative reviews. Although one lady was like, she, this seller was nice, although the excuse me, the body was wrong. The body on the doll was not wrong, okay? But because they were like nasty nice, I couldn't really, there's not much you can do about that. But it didn't bring my seller percentage down as far as my reviews. But people, they can be something else, so just be ready. Um, what else have I learned with eBay? So I went over shipping, packaging, take your pictures. Everything you send off, take pictures. Um, oh, if you can add a little, just something like a thank you card. I even had some old recipes that I have duplicates of. I added those one time for a couple of boxes. People appreciate stuff like that. Oh, and as far as Barbie dolls go, take pictures of the entire body, naked and clothed, because these people will will just get mad. I had a guy get mad at me because it was a Barbie doll that moved. It was Magic Moves Barbie, and her arms go up. I mean, it's a miracle that she's 30 years old and her arms still work, considering that I played with her. The guy got mad at me and said, her arms don't move slowly. And I'm like, are you kidding me? This doll is over 30 years old. Your description wasn't accurate. Yes, they are. Her arms move. So he ended up sending the doll back. I mean, I think some people want you to just refund the money and them keep the product. I'm not that person. If it's defective, send it back to me. So I made him send it back, and I got my money back, and no, he got his money back, and I got my doll back. But she still moved. So I had to add a disclaimer on all of my toy sales that say, hey, for people that are like avid collectors, disclaimer, these Barbie dolls, these toys have been played with. I was the original owner, but they're not in perfect or new condition, because that's what these people are expecting, and it's almost ridiculous. But when you're dealing with Barbie dolls, if one hair is out of place and you didn't put it on your description, they will go ballistic on you. So I've just learned to be as detailed as possible. If their head is slightly turned, you better put it in the freaking description, because they're going to be ticked off if you don't. So I've just started taking pictures of the doll naked so they can see the full body. Um, any little flaw that she has, you better write it down. So I've seemed to have better success that way. But it's just been a learning experience. It's been a lucrative learning experience for sure. So I kind of stopped. I have some stuff up on my store right now that hasn't sold. Oh, that's another thing I wanted to talk about: auctions versus just giving like a flat fee. I think with Barbie dolls, auctions are so much better, and I do not take offers in the middle of the auction because most of the time when people are offering you things like that, that means that the toy or whatever you're selling is worth so much more than that. So wait the auction out. If I had have sold the My Little Ponies when I got the first offer, I would have missed out on so much money. Now, if your items have been on auction a couple of times and somebody makes an offer, yeah, I might would take it then because it hasn't been selling. But if you're getting multiple messages about an item, do not take any offers. That's my personal opinion. I've gotten burned with taking people's offers because they offer it to you, you take it off the auction, and then they don't pay. I mean, you get a small percentage fee when people do that, but then you have to start all over. So, I don't taking offers are not worth it to me in the long run. And then you'll get an invoice every month because they charge you for like listing your item and things like that, and it can run anywhere from $50 to $100. But if you're making enough money off your sales, that should pay for it. Um, yeah, I just think ultimately, if you're honest about what you're selling, especially when you're selling like old vintage toys like I am and not new products, you'll get good feedback. And honesty is always the best policy. When I was honest about stuff that I didn't know to catch, or, because I'm just selling old Barbie dolls. I'm not a Barbie doll expert in the least. I just played with them and loved them as a child. But it's been an interesting experience. So it's been a fun experience because it's helped me get closer to debt freedom. And I'm getting rid of my Barbie dolls. I've kept a couple of them for, a child when I have kids, but um, just letting it sit in containers, I'd much rather for it to go to these people who are like the people that I followed on YouTube and have bookcases full of Barbie dolls or rooms, who really want to enjoy them and play with them because that's just not me any longer. So, oh, I'm gonna put some paintings up there. I mean, if you just have stuff if you have stuff in your house that you need to sell, just try eBay, try it out. It's could be $5, $10 you didn't have. So it's a great business experience. And if you want to be a business owner one day, or if you're working towards that, I think it just helps you get more in that mind frame on how to deal with customers and just how to provide excellent service. When you appreciate people, even with my homemade thank you cards, I have gotten so many compliments on those. It just goes a long way. A sticker, I put a sticker on them, stay safe, So that's been cool. But yeah, it can be a lucrative experience. Once I get rid of all my toys, would I really do have anything else to go on eBay? I don't know. I mean, we'll see what the future brings, but I've had fun doing it. So if you have any eBay selling questions for me specific to Barbie dolls, and Google always has been one of my great friends, helped me find Barbie doll stuff that I didn't have names for. So it's amazing what's out there on the internet. It truly is. So stay safe. I'm going to try to be better. I'm not going to try because the pastor says when you say you try, it's an honest lie. I'm working on getting back on track with my videos, but learning how to sell on eBay is definitely a life skill. So check out some of my tips. If you have any tips for me on videos and being more of a YouTuber expert, let me know. Something that Ellen says that I love is just be kind. Just be nice and kind to people. And for my Caucasian friends, have, and which I think a lot of you are starting to now, but just try to have some understanding, sympathy, empathy for what your minority friends have went through all over these years. We're not blaming it on you. We just say that we want equality. We want the same rights and privileges that you have on the surface, and, not have to work 10 times, 20 times as hard to have the same access that you guys have to things. Anyway, peeps, I hope you have a great rest of your week. Love you all. Thanks for watching.